Hola, planet Earth. ¿Cómo está? How is everybody? It is April 21st of 2015. This is Kaipacha with the weekly Pele report. It's just giving us a little bit of the astrology of the now, of what's going on now, reading a little bit of the energy patterns through the stars of what's happening. And I'm out here in some field. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going. It looks like two different paths. There's the high road and the low road. Since it's windy, I think I'm going to take the low road. I'm actually in the city of San Jose, which is rather appropriate. The moon is in Gemini, which is the sign of busyness and cities and chit-chat and cars and everything. And of course, the ruler of Gemini is Mercury, and Mercury is conjunct Mars. Ay, 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 all week. It's exact tomorrow. I'm going to talk more about this. Mercury conjunct Mars in Taurus. The Sun is also in Taurus, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But I really want to talk about this grand trine that Mars is part of. Mars is trine Black Moon Lilith, hanging out over there in Virgo, and trine Pluto over there in Capricorn. So we've got this grand trine happening in the Earth signs of Mars, Lilith, and Pluto. Oh my God, it's the heavies. And not only that, but Mars and Pluto are both sextile Chiron over there in Pisces, opposite Lilith. So we have a situation, it's called a kite in astrology, where, yeah, well, you just figured out yourself. You can see it on the chart that I upload. Aha, now look at this. I have another trail here. Let's get into these the moon signs. On Wednesday, she goes into Cancer. Yeah. And then on Saturday, she moves into Leo. But before getting into Leo, of course, in the middle of Cancer, she is going to, on Friday, oppose Pluto and square Uranus. Okay, so Friday. And then Saturday we have the first quarter moon. That is the moon at 5 degrees of Leo squaring the sun at 5 degrees of Taurus. We'll talk a little bit about that. Nice thing is we've got Venus sextile Uranus on Sunday. We've got this grand trine going on with the kite. And so on Monday, the moon moves into Virgo. Yeah, and we'll get to next week. I just gave you a full 180. I don't know. I'll try going down here a little bit and find a quiet place where I can sit down and give you the rest of this report. So until then, all right. Well, I've been wandering around for about a half hour trying to find a place to do this report. I'm afraid this is going to have to be it. Jeez, it's frustrating. And that's what you can get with a Mercury conjunct Mars in Taurus. I think I talked about it a little bit last week. You know, Mars is in Taurus. It's been there for 3 weeks. It's going to be there 3 more weeks. You know, until next month on the 11th, I think it goes into Gemini. But now Mercury's joining it. And both of these planets are fast moving. Mercury is fast talking and Mars is fast action. And we just had this new moon in Aries. It's like this new moon in Aries wants to charge, and the first thing you do is like you get out of the gate and the horse trips over something, you know. This is just like, you know. Taurus the bull, you know, fixed earth, just sitting there. Wow. So these can be frustrating days. And of course it was square Jupiter over there in Leo, which wants to create and play and have fun and do things. And you know, the Sun, Mars, Mercury, and Taurus is going, where's the money? Show me the money. That costs money. You got to buy a ticket to go to that game. I mean, it's just like, this can be, you know, pretty frustrating. But, you know, I want to look at the upside of it. You know, besides bad traffic and angry disputes over money and, you know, nasty emails and hostile communication. I mean, we can look at the downside a little more. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, it's intense. Why is it intense? Because this Mars is trine Lilith. Let's look at Lilith over there in Virgo. Now we know that Lilith is a powerful, rebellious, revolutionary, connected to the Kundalini. And when she's in Virgo, she wants to get it straight and get it right and get rid of the non-essential, get down to brass tacks, get down to business. If you got to purge yourself, go on a fast, go on a diet, get your act together, get your business together. And she can be pretty, you know, clear, straight, blunt, maybe even slightly hostile, you know, about it. And like I say, she's in Virgo, all right, from February of 2015 until November of 2015. And right now she's opposite Chiron. And that Chiron is over there in Pisces, wanting to heal the wound. And it can be a medical crisis. It can be an emotional crisis. It can be a relationship crisis. I mean, Chiron brings in healing crisis. And then we trine that Lilith to Pluto up there in Capricorn, which is pulling the rug out from under us in terms of financial security and stability. And it's just like, okay, now is the time, you know, to again, get your business together, get your act together, walk your talk, put your money where your mouth is, show me the money. It's like, come on. We're not going to do it for you. There's nobody out here, you know. Again, this can create crisis. So we got like, you know, this whole time now about crisis. And what is crisis but intensity? Pluto, Lilith, Mars, these are intense brothers and sisters happening out here. So these intense times, what do the intense times do? The purpose of intensity in our life is to like squeeze that tube of toothpaste. And yes, it is intense, but what it's doing is it's bringing up what we would not look at, what we would ignore, maybe what we didn't have time for, or it wasn't easy or comfortable to talk about it. And we wouldn't talk about it if it wasn't a crisis. And we wouldn't talk about it, you know, unless we, you know, were in need of money or in need of clarity or in need of getting things straight because we're launching a big operation or we want to create something really huge. And no, you know, it's like, you know, nobody likes to talk to lawyers or go to court or, you know, deal, you know, with the banks and things like that. But it's just part of this earthly process of moving matter, moving possessions, moving the material world. And it's part of the creative process. And so it's like really bringing up our emotional attachments to having our way, to having this money, to having this security, to having, what are you holding on to? Taurus wants to hold on and have it all. Well, this may be a time where you need to decide. I've only got enough resources to do this, not this and this and this and this. So I need to prioritize. So this is a time where, you know what, I take that big tall piece of grass because I don't need that waving in my face when I'm trying to concentrate. Where was I? Priorities help us determine our values. And that's really the bottom line of Taurus, is what I value. What is my priority? What is most important? And, you know, what is most important to me determines, you know, a lot of my future actions, a lot of where I'm going, and a lot of, you know, we still got Saturn up there in Sagittarius. But the last thing I wanted to bring up was the north node of the moon in Libra. It's still there, folks. I think it's there till 11/11. And that is the future evolutionary path in the sign of partnership and relationship and cooperation and compromise. And you just may be having a tight time now because you got to talk to somebody that maybe you wouldn't talk to if you didn't need to. And they didn't have something that you needed to survive, or you needed to be comfortable, or you needed to be secure. So in a way, I think this is like the needle, you know, pushing us out of our comfort zone into relationship, Because this whole new paradigm, this whole age of Aquarius is about community. In Lakesh, I am another you, like it or not. Sometimes you look in the mirror and you don't exactly love what you see. You gotta splash a little water on your face, clean up your act. This can be one of those times where, yeah, bouncing off of people. But the good thing about Mercury Mars is it's enough of a push or a discomfort to discover and uncover. And like I say things that you wouldn't say, but you can do that, and you may, you know, people may say things to you that you don't want to hear, but it brings clarity. Clarity. Oh yeah. This is a time of coming clear. Who's and what's and what's mine and what's yours. And we can go forward with this clarity, and down the road we're going to be very thankful that we said that, or that we signed that contract, or that we broke that agreement, or that we, you know, that we said, you know, no. This is a time of saying yes and saying no. Embracing what's going to take us to the future and canceling what's holding us back. And this is Saturn and Sag, you know, which is going on for a while, but it's a real good time for this. And of course, the past is I'm going to go it alone and do it my own way, and I'll make my own, and it may take me forever to make enough money by myself to do what I want to do, but I'm not going to trust or rely on anybody. You know, that's the Aries-Taurus way. But the North Node of the Moon and the future age of Aquarius is, hey, we can do a lot more together than I can do solo, than I can do alone. Let's work together. It takes compromise, it takes negotiation. And so my keyword for this week was delicate negotiations. Try to be as delicate as you can. You know, Mercury Mars wants to just slice through there. But the nice, we have Venus in Gemini, which kind of, you know, can really keep things cool around the boardroom and around the table. Yeah? Table. That reminds me of the mantra for this week. I am no longer afraid to call a spade and get all the cards on the table to co-create a better way. You know, Mars, you know, is courage. This is a time for courage. It's a time for getting over doubt. And you may feel blocked in or locked in, or not enough resources, or not enough of something to get your way. And, you know, get really upset and frustrated and angry about it. Or you can speak and ask and talk and learn how to receive. Taurus is ruled by Venus, receptivity. And then lots of things can start happening, like a new paradigm where it's not all about competition and there's only enough resources for, you know, it's like whoever gets it first. There's a limited supply and it's all supply and demand. We're letting go of that old patriarchal conditioning of self-interest and moving into this age of Aquarius where it's about the good of the group. And when everyone in the group is satisfied, then everybody in the group can be satisfied. And whenever there's somebody in the group that's not, there's going to be revolution or rebellion or, you know, upset and problems. So we want to bring everybody to the table, get everybody's cards laid out, see what everybody needs in every relationship, start working together, and bam, next thing you know, you got a new paradigm, you got the age of Aquarius, you got a new planet. So one last time. I am no longer afraid to call a spade and get all the cards on the table to co-create a better way. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.